Oh, good morning. Thanks for dropping by. Man, I hope you're having a great day. I did. I got to start out with the girls at the coffee shop. What better way to get things going? I want to start out with a question today. He's already starting with the questions. I do. And I want to know this from the bottom of your heart because it's going to matter here in a couple months, and I want to know what you think. Does the health of a CEO or a politician matter to you? If you're going to hire someone, let's say you're the chairman of the board and you've got to hire a CEO for your company, does his or her health bother you, matter to you, even come up on the blip on the radar to you? Look at somebody you're going to elect, all right? So let's say you're hiring someone. Let's say you're voting for someone. Does their health bother you? Is it a concern to you? Or do you just not even think about it? Well, let's go back to the CEO part first. Does the owner, CEO, the shot caller of a company need to have perfect health? Or at least health that's functional from the day-to-day basis? Let's think about us, man. What happens when we get the flu, strep throat, a cough, a sinus infection? What happens if we felt that way every day? Would we be able to run our company in an effective way? Would we be able to make the right decisions with the right people? Or would we need handlers constantly to handle everything for us? Or we make the final call, but we have to have someone else implement every single thing we do. Now, think about it. The last time you had a really bad cold, you had the flu, or maybe you had pneumonia, were you able to carry out your day-to-day operation or your lifestyle without help? Or were you completely dependent upon someone else to help you? Hey, I'll go first. I've had pneumonia several times. I wasn't able to do anything with pneumonia. Now, I had it for weeks on end. I had one case of walking, 2 cases of viral. None are any fun. But I know that I was unable to do what I needed to do. Now, I walked around for 2 weeks with it. But finally, it got to me. I remember I went to get a prescription the doctor had given me. And I ended up laying in the floor at an Eckerd Drugs. Eckerd, I think, has gone by the wayside now, but I remember laying there, not able to get up, and this lady about 78 comes over and she starts kicking me. Lady, what are you doing? I can't move. I'm going to have to call an ambulance now just to go home. Get up, get up. I'm like, lady, I'm going to get better one day. Why don't I tell you what, while I'm laying here, will you leave me your address so I'll know how to find you when I'm able to move again? But I couldn't move. And finally the pharmacist came out and got me up. They're like, do we need to take you home? I said, no, give me a second, I can drive home. But it impaired my ability to do anything, and then I was out of work for a week. So let's think about this day-to-day life of someone's health, because right now in the media, we're being told that it doesn't matter. Well, sure it does. Because bad health, apparently there's going to be another report on Hillary's health here in the next 3 weeks or so. Depends on what Julian puts out from WikiLeaks. But let's look at the political side and the money side, or the CEO side. Does the commander-in-chief, the leadership, need clear mind function? Of course they do. What happens when the leader of a company can't think clearly, can't make the right decision, starts forgetting everything, can't go through the meetings, can't last day to day from day to day of operations? It's not even competent enough to pass down the word of someone else that they can do, and they don't have a competent number 2 to take over. Now we got a problem. All right, so let's relate that to the political office. What happens if we have a president, which we've had before, that's incapacitated? Then we look to number 2. What's that number 2 like? Then I go back to House of Cards. Frank Underwood, a ruthless human being who's a fictional character, but competent from a mind standpoint, had a number 2 that wasn't. And all chaos went once number 2 had to take over. So let's go back to the CEO. You've got a CEO that's not healthy. You got a number 2 that's not very good either. Now you've got a company in free fall and chaos, and what happens when that happens? Normally the company crumbles and falls apart. What do you happen when a government has that? Yeah, it normally crumbles and falls apart. Why in the world will we even entertain placing someone in an office, the most powerful office in the world, that's not competent? Again, I'm not talking about feelings. I'm not talking about politics. I am talking about behavior. depending if you listen to the left or right, how bad the health is. It's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at videos. I'm looking at medical reports that haven't been released but released in other methods. And I'm looking at a trail of behavior. In no way, shape, or form would me as a chairman bring in a CEO that had displayed any of the behaviors that Hillary has right now. Because I know I'm going to have to replace them. There's absolutely no way I can let someone who's starting to slip from a mental standpoint, a physical standpoint, a vision standpoint, make decisions on behalf of my company that might put the jobs of 50, 500, 50,000 people in jeopardy. And now we want to consider placing someone in, I guess, responsibility position for a $3 trillion budget, the strongest military in the world. I mean, I can keep going on this. Why in the world would we even consider that? Well, because the media and the politicians have made us think it's not about that. They want us to think about its feelings. Again, what's that feeling you get when you pick that paycheck on Friday, Monday, whatever it is the day you get it, and then you know that you've done your job and you got paid? Well, what happens if you don't get to go back and pick that paycheck up again? Because this is what happens when you have competent leadership. When you have incompetent leadership, it affects the day-to-day of the business and of the government and the world. In the business, if the day-to-day is affected, then you have to start laying off workers. You have to cut wages because you're losing customers. You're losing suppliers. And people eventually don't want to do business with you on the retail end and from the supply side. So what happens? They go somewhere else, and the jobs that you had to offer all go away. It's called bankruptcy. All right, let's look at the governmental side. We've got someone who's not competent to make decisions. We've got a number two that's not competent to make decisions, and we're surrounded by bureaucrats who got there because they donated. They didn't actually earn the position. So nobody knows what's going on. Yeah, it places our government in free fall, right like now. Our government right now is in free fall. Now, you can take your head out of the sand if you want to. Probably be a good idea in the next couple of months. But you haven't seen wages go up, you've seen them go down. You haven't seen lifestyle go up, you've seen it go down. You've seen a lot of political protests, racial protests, sexual protests, but you haven't seen jobs come back. So what you've seen is turmoil and a lack of harmony in our society, but you haven't seen any prosperity come. Those are warning signs for a civilization that is collapsing. Go back and read some history. Rome, Greece, keep going. Babylon, keep going. So what do? Well, you look at it this way. You put it back under the vision of what does it take to be a competent leader? Number one on my list is health. They got to be healthy enough to do the job. Whether I'm hiring a CEO, a senior VP, or I'm electing a politician, they have to be competent to do the job physically. Next, they have to have the prerequisite skills to do the job. Do they know what they're doing? All right, from a CEO standpoint, I sell cars. I'm going to hire somebody that's been in the car business, that knows the car business inside and out, and in addition to, can bring something new in. All right? What I don't want is a politician that's always been in government service. Boy, is that an oxymoron. There's no such thing as government service. Most people use the government as a means to get rich. Look at the Clintons again. They walk in broke. Actually, they were in the negative. And now they've got a net worth between $100 and $200 million. I'm missing the connection here. So as we go through this season, I want you to understand something. The media may say one thing, the politicians may say one thing, but what do you really believe? Do you believe that someone's health is a factor? Because I know right now, if you're a business owner, you're going to hire employees, who are you going to hire? The healthy one or the sick one? It's something to think about. All right, coming up today on today's show, Jonathan Loudermilk's going to stop by, Coach Milk, 180 Sports Performance. We're going to talk about what it takes to stay in shape the rest of your life, how stars stay as beautiful and fit as they can, and what veterans programs are out there so we can make sure those men and women that have served our country get served by us. All right, coming up, think about it. I'm halfway through college. Now what? I'm not sure if my major's going to fit, and I definitely don't know what I'm going to do the rest of my life. I'll tackle that problem when we get back.
Right now at Pizza Hut, you can get any 2 medium pizzas for $6.99 each. Get any toppings, any crust flavor, anything you want for just $6.99 each. And sweeten the deal with a Hershey's Triple Chocolate Brownie for just $5.99. Only at Pizza Hut.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
El Rey and Elijah.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Elijah.
The summer sell-down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper with huge savings up to 16% off MSRP. Save over $4,100 off Malibu Limited, now just $19,500. Save $9,500 on loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT, now only $38,700. Save up to 16% off MSRP on select new Chevys in stock during the summer sell-down. Going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Elijah. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hello, America. The first ever $5 flavor menu is here, and it's a game changer. For just $5 each, you can get a medium one-topping pizza, Wing Street Wings, a Hershey's cookie, and your other Hut favorites. A Pizza Hut pizza for just $5. It's the ultimate crowd pleaser.
How are you feeling, crowd?
Very pleased, thank you.
We do what we can here.
$5 for a Pizza Hut pizza. How can we not be pleased?
Good crowd today.
The $5 flavor menu, America's best pizza deal, only at Pizza Hut.
Welcome back. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope your day's going well. All right, I want to jump into this. You ever met anybody, or maybe this was you? You got about a year under your belt in college, or maybe 2, and you go, why am I here? Why did I go to this school? What am I doing? What am I majoring in this? Well, how come I didn't major in that? I don't even know who I am. What am I doing? I remember when it was our turn coming out of high school to go to college. People would say, I'm going to go to college and find myself. And I would always say, man, isn't it a little cheaper to find yourself prior to investing, what, it was probably $8,000 a year. Now it's $25,000 to $45,000 a year. Isn't it a little cheaper to find yourself before you get there? So many times I'll have the 20s to 25s ask me, hey man, what do I do? What am I doing? I've gone through, and I've had them even get up to senior year and go, man, I don't even want to major in this. What should I do? Okay, we'll take it one step at a time if you'll permit. So let's say that you're one of those college students and you've been there a year or two, maybe 3. You're not really sure about your major. You're majoring in it because your mom and dad suggested it, a friend suggested it, a girl you like suggested it, you followed somebody to that school and they suggested it, whatever the reason. And now you've had this epiphany. I don't want to do this, man. If I have to do this one more day, I'm just not going to make it. So slow down. All right, what do we do about this? I handle this quite often. If you got a question about this, ScotFerrel.com is my website. What do you do? All right, well, stop. Again, my answer to most of this is stop. Now, if you're in the middle semester, it's only smart to finish it. Finish what you started. And I've told more than one person, man, if you're that close to your degree, let's say you got another year or a half a year, finish. Just to add on. But if it's 1 year and you still got 3 years, then why would you finish that degree if it's something you hate? Now, I know there's endless amounts, and I've got buddies that did this. They'll start one degree, get a year in, start another degree, get a year in, start out. I know buddies of mine that took 8, 9 years to get out of college. They're still bums. They didn't know what they wanted to do, and they definitely don't now. We're in our 50s, and they try on professions. That's what we want to avoid with you. So stop. Stop for a second and figure out who you are. Now, for me, this is how I do this with my clients. Creator or not, God or not, let's choose now. Is there one or isn't? I normally go from the motto of there is one. Okay, let's go with that one for right now, for argument's sake. Let's say that you were created, you're a created being. If you got a question about that, go to this website, write this down. Reasons.org, reasons.org. Dr. Hugh Ross. Or you can go to YouTube and you can look up creation from a scientific standpoint. But let's say that you were created. If you were created, do you think that a creator would give you a reason to be here? Well, yeah. Have you ever created anything without a reason? Let's say you're working on an old car. Why are you working on the old car? Why are you making that car better? Why are you making that car run? To look at it, to drive it, for value. I mean, I can keep going on and on. So you're created for a reason. And if you're created with a reason, you've got a certain skill set. You're good at something. We're all good at something, whether we exercise that good or not. We are born with a skill set. We're born to be perfect for who we are. We're programmed to fail between 0 and 5, 0 and 7. So if I stop, sit down and think for a second, and then I realize I've got a creator, and then I realize I've got a skill set. And this is one of the toughest exercises I have people do. I'll say, what are you good at? What is it that you rock at? What makes you a rock star? This is what I get. Silence. I get the stare. I'm like, stop. Why are you staring at me? And I start laughing. I'm like, tell you what, just give me one thing that you do great. I still get the stare and I get the silence. Okay, let me bring up a couple and I'll start writing them down. So for kicks, I'll normally say, all right, take the sheet of paper, go home tonight, and I want you to fill the rest of the day. I want you to give me 10 things that make you a superstar. The next time we sit down, they've got 3. And those 3 took 3 hours. And I'll go, what's up? And then for kicks, sometimes I'll do this. All right, tonight, go home and write out 20 things that are bad. They come back with 40. See where the disparity is? Now you wonder why you're in college, you don't know who you are, and you're majoring in the wrong thing, and you don't know what your skill set is. Nobody sat down with you and told you. I know me as a teenager, my parents never said anything good to me. I mean, I played varsity sports, and my parents didn't even know I played them. So you really think that my mom and dad actually sat down with me and said, hey man, here's your skill set. This is what you're really great at. Why don't we do this as a team and get you to college and get you out in the world? No, I was on my own at 16. So I'm talking to you now, maybe you have too. So let's get this fixed. So here's your exercise right now. There's a great Sesame Street song, write it down, write it down, write it down. That's all the lyrics to the song. It's about 2 minutes. You can look it up on YouTube. I'm telling you to write it down. When you take out a piece of paper, pen or pencil, and I want you to write down 50 things that are exceptional about you or that you see that are exceptional in someone else that could be a reflection of you. Let's say you've got a hero. Okay, my hero was John Wayne. What in John Wayne did I have? Okay, I grew up a Western kid. I was a farm kid, so I could relate to some of his characters. And I just started writing. Because I had to do this exercise 30 years ago. Because I got up one day and didn't know who I was, didn't know I was created, didn't have any idea what I was going to be the rest of my life. And I had to do this too. Don't think I'm asking you to do an exercise that I haven't done. Now, yeah, I'm glossing over this because you try to do these episodes and you try to do this in 12 minutes. I take 2 days to do this in a seminar. Now, if you want more information about that, go by scotferrel.com. All right, so we've got your list now. All right, let's say it's finished. Now what? Okay, let's look at this list. We may have, let's say there's 50 things there, but your buddies, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, maybe your mother and father, normally it's external people that you see at college. What do they say that you're the best at? What do they say is your gift? What do you feel most related to? Okay, this was mine. I was on stage. I performed. I sang. I never realized that I would end up making my living behind a microphone and a camera for so long. And now I go out and speak and I coach. But when I go speak, it's just like being on stage again, and it's like being 13 again. Because I've been doing this so long. It came as a natural gift for me. How about you? What's your natural gift? I got buddies that are gearheads. Man, I always wanted to be one. And one of my buddies that's retired from NASCAR with 3 championships. But I always wanted to be my big brother, Robbie. Robbie now goes fishing. A tough day for Robbie is deciding where he's going to go bass fishing. But he was a gearhead who made a lot of money doing something he loved to do. What is yours? You're on this college campus right now. You're hanging out with a lot of college kids who feel the same way you do. So let's evaluate. What's your major? Why? Then while we're evaluating major, let's evaluate. I picked this school. Why? Why am I here? Why am I here? The other day I had the privilege of being able to tour a school called Truett McConnell University. It's a school up in the North Georgia mountains. Beautiful campus. Small school, about 2,000 students. But it was just something about the campus it was really hard for me to put my finger on. I felt relaxed. Okay? While I was in college, I didn't feel relaxed. I felt rushed. I went on this campus and I felt like people actually cared. And I talked to the president, I talked to some of the professors, talked to a lot of the students. And for every person I spoke to, I still felt relaxed. Like, that's from the top on down. The president of the university is relaxed, so the whole place is relaxed. It's focused on what you do best, why God created you, what your major is, and how you're going to take that skill set and take it to the world. So let me ask you this again. Why are you majoring in what you're majoring in? Mom and dad, grandma and grandpa, family legacy, what you really wanted to do, or to be close to somebody that you were in love with. Man, I've heard them all. But why are you doing this? And while you're talking about that, what are your grades? What's your effort? And what is the desire? Do you get up every day and go, oh gosh, if I have to go to class one more time, that's it. Or do you get up going, wow, I'm going to do this the rest of my life, man. I can't wait. I'm going to go learn as much as I can to be the best at what I am and what God's made me to be. Which one is it? I know a lot of college students can barely make it to class. They're normally in their PJs and they hit the cap on the way over and got some cereal. Sound familiar? All right, I was going to leave this. I'm going to stay with this next segment. So stay with me here. You got to college. You're wondering why. You're wondering who you are. I'm going to have the rest of the answers when we get back.
Right now at Pizza Hut, you can get any 2 medium pizzas for $6.99 each. Get any toppings, any crust flavor, anything you want for just $6.99 each. And sweeten the deal with a Hershey's Triple Chocolate Brownie for just $5.99. Only at Pizza Hut.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Can you hear me?
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out, no matter how rich, cool,
Speaker.
talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people.
I've been speaking. Can you hear me?
Allison
I
says
already
we just
tested.
returned.
No, I have my headphones plugged into the sound.
He sounds good.
Did I just come in for you one day last week or two? I don't know. I came in Wednesday.
Families, parties, and meetings.
When,
friendly service and delicious.
Wednesday and Friday.
I was thinking it was something.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1. Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey in Elegy.
The summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper with huge savings up to 16% off MSRP. Save over $4,100 off Malibu Limited. Now just $19,500. Save $9,500 on loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT. Now only $38,700. Save up to 16% off MSRP on select new Chevys in stock during the summer sell down. Going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold,
Can you hear
silver,
me?
and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hello, America. The first ever $5 flavor menu is here, and it's a game changer. For just $5 each, you can get a medium one-topping pizza, Wing Street Wings, a Hershey's cookie, and your other Hut favorites. A Pizza Hut pizza for just $5? It's the ultimate crowd pleaser.
How are you feeling, crowd?
Very pleased, thank you.
We do what we can here.
$5 for a Pizza Hut pizza. How can we not be pleased?
Test one, test 1, 2.
The $5
Testing,
flavor
testing.
menu, America's best pizza deal. only
Checking,
at Pizza
checking.
Hut.
Check, test, check. Test, 1, 2, test. Test 1, 2, 2, test 1, 2, 1, 2. Test 1, 2, test 1, 2.
All right, welcome back. Thanks so much for tuning in. All right, I didn't mean to leave you hanging there. All right, let me recap so we'll be on the same page here with each other. I'm halfway through college. Now what? What am I doing? Why am I doing what I'm doing? What's my major? How am I going to progress past this station in life? All right, that's cool. Where'd I leave off? All right, why do you have your current major? Why are you majoring in what you are right now? What's your grade GPA? Here's why I ask about GPAs. A GPA, a lot of times, is a reflection of the effort you put into it. Now, I'm not saying if you don't have straight A's, you're not going to make it. That's not true at all. Normally, the C student comes back and buys you a building. That's true. But why are you majoring in it? What are you doing? Are you trying to maximize the party or are you trying to maximize the learning? Because normally your A and B students come back and they're the professors. Okay, we get all that. We've heard all the cliches. But let's look at you, because I want to look at desire. What kind of zeal do you get up with every day to go do it? Now, I know the first 2 years of school with the requirements, okay, I had a lot of fun doing those because I took a lot of cool classes with a lot of cool professors. I can say that was 2 very fun years for me. When I got into my major, though, I mean, I got to be with my mentor, Dr. Shaw, and then I got to be friends with all my professors. That was cool, too. But I went to class every day knowing I was going to learn, and I wanted to be there. I know a lot of college kids that just get up and go to class as a way to just finally get to the end. Didn't you approach high school that way too? Oh, God, I'll be glad when Christmas gets here. I'll be glad when Easter gets here. I'll be glad, because those are the cutoffs. Christmas means 2 weeks. Easter means a week, because it's spring break. And then you've got summer. Did you live for the breaks or did you live for the school? College can be one of the coolest times of your life because you get to learn something that you're paying a dollar bill for, and you get to take that learning to the rest of your life. Or it can be drudgery. You're still paying for the learning, you're just not enjoying it. Which one is it? So think about this today. How much desire do you have when you get up to go to class? Or is it pajamas, cafeteria, cereal, class? Or is it energy, expectation, application? Which one is it? Because while you're thinking about that, look at the social groups you're part of. When you're in college, your social groups can tell a lot about who you are as a person. All right, let's look at me. What was I in? Well, I was an older student, so I was part of that. I was a cheerleader for a while. I wanted to prove that I wasn't too old to do it. My back finally won out. I was part of Who's Who. I ended up, it's funny because my last semester I earned a full scholarship for schooling. And I didn't get to use it because I graduated early. But it would have been really nice to have that free education. But my social group were education majors. I was an education major around behavior and special ed. So what's your social group? Who's your activities? Like the kids, I used to run into these kids at the Georgia games. We'd be on campus for the Georgia game, and all the kids with the makeup and the shoulder pads would always be in front of me at Chick-fil-A. Never failed. Every Saturday I'd run into those guys. It's funny because I see them on TV now every Saturday. One's missing. He graduated. But it was fun to talk to the kids, and I said, why are you doing this? Be different, man. We got tired of just being like every other student. So we figured we'd just dress up when we get on TV. It worked. So they had a plan. So every Saturday they'd get up at 6 a.m., paint up, put their shoulder pads on, put their fake hair on, and go to the game. But they had a purpose for getting up. Now, in addition to your major and your social groups, who are you dating? Why did you go to college? The old joke back when I was a kid was ladies would go to college and get their elementary ed degree, which really meant their MRS degree. You go looking for a husband. Really can't say that now. Oh boy, have times changed. I've been watching Mad Men, and I didn't realize how much time had changed since 1963 and 2016. But boy, have things changed. Mad Men reminds me of being a kid. That was kind of like our life. And now I look forward and go, wow, has our country changed? But who are you dating? Why are you dating them? Is it somebody from high school? Is it somebody from college? Is it somebody that fits your purpose, plan, direction that you don't know yet? That's why you're asking me about your major. Or is it somebody because they're pretty, good in bed, like to do drugs, like to get drunk and party like you do on the weekends? What is it? What is your determinant for dating in college? We got a lot of people who aren't fully developed from a brain standpoint, from an emotional standpoint, and from an IQ standpoint, making life-changing decisions all at one time. Now, let me ask you this question, because I ask this of everyone. What are your daily activities? What do you do all day? From sun up to when you go to bed, what do you do all day? Have you ever written out your schedule? Now, you'll be in class. Let's say there's 70 people in your class. You'll see 5 over there with color-coded notebooks. Everything's color-coded, and they can account for every single second of every single day. Then you'll look in the back. This used to be our lacrosse team. I'd look in the back. They were asleep. They couldn't account for anything other than practice. And then you see a couple over here, a couple over here, a couple over here. While I was in college, I could account for everything. Who are you? Why do you do what you do on a daily basis? Realize that whatever habits you form in college, you'll carry it over for the rest of your life. Now, as we look at your daily activities, I can answer the next question in a happy way, let's say. It's one of the brightest memories I have. Who's your mentor or coach? You're in college. You've got a degree picked out. Who's your mentor or coach? Who's walking you through that degree on why, what you're going to do with it, what's your job prospects, or are you going to start your own company when you get out? But who's coaching you? Again, mine was Dr. Shaw. Dr. Shaw was the best at any type of special needs behavior or anything under that mix. He was my personal mentor for 3 years. And I got to learn and learn and learn, and he would pour into me. I knew exactly what I was getting into. I knew exactly what I was going to do. I knew where I was going to go and how I was going to do it, all because of him and his tutelage. Do you have someone that is guiding you? Okay, my wife's got a PR degree, and she was a journalism major, combo. She wanted to be an anchor girl when she got out. She didn't realize that all you do is lie as an anchor girl. You do a false narrative. And so she walked away from that and went into sales, a career that helped her greatly. So she took her journalism degree and turned it into a sales degree where she actually helps me write books, and she ghostwrites books for other people. Excellent writer. I'm an author, not a writer. She's a writer. I'm an author. An author has the idea, we paint the brush, we let somebody who can write help us fix it. But from your daily activities to your mentor, what are you doing about it? Because that mentor or that coach, what are your internships? What are you doing to make sure this is what you want? I talked to so many kids who go, I want to go to law school. Well, that's cool. I've driven by a few too. Have you ever clerked in a law degree? Have you ever met an attorney? Have you talked to one? Do they like it? Same thing with med school, and I'll go again. I've driven through one. Do you know anything about being a doctor? Do you know what the requirements are? Have you spent time with one? Have you talked to one? Do you know one? Do you know what they do? No? Okay. Then that's not a very wise choice. So whatever your profession is, have you spent time with someone doing it? When I went into coaching, I went and spent time with college coaches. I wanted to see what day-to-day was like. And I understood when I got into this profession, I was going to work 90, 95 hours a week. And I was probably going to get paid for 10 of those. And I knew that the appreciation train wasn't going to stop at my station much. And I realized all the pitfalls of coaching, but I loved it. And I went into it anyway, teaching. I realized what the salary was a long time. I realized what I was going to go through on a day-to-day basis, and I still went. And I made a 20-plus year career out of it. I knew what I was getting into when I was going to do it. I had great mentors, which I'm going to have my media mentors on with me one day. Joel and Susan are going to stop on by, and we're going to chat, because if you've ever wanted to be in the TV business or the radio business, you're going to want to listen that day, because between the two of them, one's been in the business 30 years and the other one's been in 32. So I think they know what they're doing. Both drive time DJs here in the Atlanta area and have been for years. And one was helped out with the Voice of Georgia football. So be great to see them in action, and they'll stop by at a later date, probably this month. So let's sum up. You're at college, you don't know who you are, where you're going, or what you've done. You're in a degree program you're not really sure about, you're not really sure if you've been created. Did I summarize that good enough for you? Good. So stop, time out, sit down, paper, pen, and let's figure it out now. Who are you? What is your skill set? What makes you a rock star? What are you the best at? Start there. Now again, I told you, I do this over 2 days. All right, I'm having to jump through hoops and gloss this over and knock this out as fast as I can. If you're a personal client of me, I don't do it this fast. But for the rules of what we're doing today, I don't have any choice. But if you want to know more about this and how to purpose plan direction, and I can do it in about 30 minutes with you, ScotFerrel.com is how you find me. If you got a question for me here at the show, questions at ScotFerrel.com, or hit us up on the text line, 706-889-9700. All right, I'm going to hit the mailbag in a second. I got Jonathan Loudermilk, Coach Milk from 180 Sports Performance coming up. If you've been wondering how to stay in shape, you're our age, and you want to look good the rest of your life, Coach Milk's going to talk about that. Also, He's going to talk about what it's like to be part of a big-time lacrosse program and the commitment it takes to stay in shape and perform better than everyone else on the field. All that and more when I get back.
Right now at Pizza Hut, you can get any 2 medium pizzas for $6.99 each. Get any toppings, any crust flavor, anything you want for just $6.99 each. And sweeten the deal with a Hershey's Triple Chocolate Brownie for just $5.99. Only at Pizza Hut.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
El Rey and Ella J.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ella J.
The summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper with huge savings up to 16% off MSRP. Save over $4,100 off Malibu Limited. Now just $19,500. Save $9,500 on loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT. Now only $38,700. Save up to 16% off MSRP on select new Chevys in stock during the summer sell down. Going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hello, America. The first ever $5 flavor menu is here, and it's a game changer. For just $5 each, you can get a medium one-topping pizza, Wing Street Wings, a Hershey's cookie, and your other Hut favorites. A Pizza Hut pizza for just $5. It's the ultimate crowd pleaser.
How are you feeling, crowd?
Very pleased, thank you.
We do what we can here.
$5 for a Pizza Hut pizza. How can we not be pleased?
Good crowd today.
The $5 flavor menu, America's best pizza deal, only at Pizza Hut.
Welcome back. Thanks so much for joining me. All right, if you want to get in touch with me, ScotFerrel.com, ScotFerrell.com. All right, time for the mailbag, where I answer the questions that you send to me via text, email, carrier pigeon, or Facebook. Take them all. We will eventually have an ability for you to call us, but right now we're going to go text. It's the fastest method. Just got one just a second ago because I've got to answer this question. It is so important. If you want your question answered, it's questions at ScotFerrell.com. or hit us up on the text line, 706-889-9700. All right, let me ask this question. Answer this question. All right, this person who texted in previously, and I want to make sure I handled this, had a client, female, with a male client. He thinks, this happens a lot, guys. You got a female who's a salesperson. You got a male client. She happens to be beautiful. He happens to think he's the man. So instead of talking about the product, he wants to talk about her. And then he gets a little more aggressive each time. Okay, that ain't going to work, guys. Let's keep it on the product. Well, make the sale, but he wants a little something extra. And the original question was, what should I do? I said, get rid of him as a client. You don't need him. All right, so now the new question is, everything's been dropped off, sale's been completed. Now he's starting the guilt train of, well, you just used me for a sale. Okay, let me get to here. Listen. All right, strippers aren't there for you. They're there for the money. Okay, so for guys who think that. Salespeople aren't there because they care about you. They're there to make a sale. You get a good for a service. So you get your stuff, they get your money. Okay, it's not emotional. It's not about being liked. So guys, please listen to me. When someone, attractive or not, sells you something and you pay them, that transaction is finished. Okay? It ain't cool to call them back. It ain't cool to stay in touch, even though they've told you they don't want you as a client. Here's what they're going to do to handle that. Not call you back. Not refer anybody to you. Not have any contact with you whatsoever. Okay? A business breakup is just like a dating breakup. I no longer want to do business with you. Therefore, what happens when we tell somebody we don't want to date them anymore? No more phone calls, no more emails, no more letters, no more contact. Same thing here in the business world. What do you do when you don't want a client anymore who's being a pain? Okay, people go through this every day. End all contact, that's phone, email, text, and no longer offer your goods or services to them again. Okay, they're bad seed. I like to tell people this. There are plenty other people to provide a service to the client you don't want. Just like hiring. Let your competitors have people to hire too. You don't want to hire all the bad people. Let them have them. You don't want all the bad clients. Let them have them. So listen, if you've got a client you can't get rid of, who wants to be the man, and I've seen this so many times. Speaking of, I watched Mad Men last night. Talk about wanting to be the man. If you've never seen the series, go watch it. It is typical 1960s ad guys who think they're God, who think all women should fall at their feet and do what they say. So when you get a client like this, male or female, once you cut off contact, that's done. It's just like dating. No reason to even reinitiate a contact. Let them go somewhere else. Their dollars are better spent with someone else, because guess what? It's not you on this instance. It's going to be them, everything they do. Follow around someone for a day who's a narcissist and see their interaction between every single person they see. It's identical. That reaction is only about them. So they may move on as a customer from you. You sold them the goods, you delivered, you received the money. Now they move to the next person. Oh, they're going to treat them exactly like they treated you. And then they're going to get rid of them and they're going to go to the next person. See where I'm going with this? It's a replicatable behavior of theirs. It's a habit. They're going to keep doing it until something changes. That something's not going to be you. So move on, let them go, let them spend their dollar bills somewhere else. Here's the great thing. When you let go of a bad client, you make room for 4 or 5 more good clients who value your good or service and value your opinion and don't want to be a pain. Just like dating. How can you make room for a wonderful person while you're still dating the bad person? All right, thank you so much for that question. All right, let me get to the next one. Wow, okay, I'll answer this one. This is a holdover from yesterday, but I'll answer. What's the best way to pick a career? College kids, okay, I didn't get to this today, and I went over that today not knowing this question was still there. Above all else, if you're in college, I'm not talking with kids, I'm talking about you. If you're a young student, let's say you're the same age as the producers here, between 21 and 30, and you're now in college, pick something you enjoy. Yeah, you got to look at the dineros or the bennies or the dollar bills. I know that. But pick something you enjoy. Don't pick something just because it's difficult, just because you can make crazy money from it. You can make crazy money from anything if you find the right avenue, the right customer base, and the right approach, and you got great marketing. We got a Rubik's Cube, people playing with a cube. But you got to do something you enjoy every single day, or life becomes drudgery. You don't want to do that. Okay, look at your parents. I look at my parents. Every single day of life was drudgery for my parents. I don't think they enjoyed one moment. Then I looked at my friends' parents, and then we looked at our friends' parents, and I look around the people I meet day to day just out in the restaurant. It's people are doing a job, they're living a life of someone else in a script that someone else has written for them. Do you really want to do that? Do you really want to wake up on your deathbed at 85 going, wow, life blew, man. I couldn't stand one day of my life. Why did I do this? Why did I bother? Or do you want to get up and go, wow, every single day gets better because I'm doing what I want to do? Savannah Ross stopped by yesterday, richmom.com. Savannah gets up every single day with the single purpose of doing exactly what she always dreamed of. She's got more money than sense, and she's got a lot of sense. Excuse me. And her son's name is Tiny Trump. Because he's made so much money in real estate at the age of 15, excuse me, and he's been on stage with Donald Trump. What a cool description. What would I would have wanted being called? Let me think. Tiny Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin. Tiny Robert Plant. Since I'm 5'7"-ish and he's 6'5", that would probably be tough to pull off. But little tiny Robert Plant. I get to front Led Zeppelin. Okay, that would have done it for me. So seriously, if you're in college, man, pick something that you love. And chances are you can love it the rest of your life, and you'll meet someone who's part of your life, and they join the what you love, and you live happily ever after. And yes, happily ever after does still come. I know plenty of people living it right now. All right, thank you so much for your question. Okay, here's a good one. First day of work, all right. Sheila asked this. Sheila is from Chattanooga, Tennessee. First day of work. What's the best way to start this first day of work? Apparently she got a new job. She's ready to go. She's looking forward to it. And she wants to integrate her stuff into the staff. Cool. We all do. First day of work, got some jitters. We don't know anybody. We're starting a new job. We really don't know the climate. Be nice. Be nice. Introduce yourself to people. Hey, new guy, chances are they're going to know that anyway. And just be nice. It's really not that hard. Now, I've gone to churches, environments, sporting events, and offices where it did seem like it was a lot of work. But seriously, how good do you feel when somebody goes, hey, my name's so-and-so. Oh, it's a pleasure. Nice to meet you. No agenda. I just wanted to meet you. I'm new here. I was just trying to get to know everybody. Well, what you'll see happen is people start to take you out to lunch. People start to want to hang out with you. People want to get to know you. People drop by your cubicle or your office. And pretty soon you're inundated with friends. I don't think I've ever moved where I knew someone. I started over. So every single school I taught in, every job I've had, I've moved not knowing a soul. And in 2 or 3 weeks, I'm covered up with stuff to do. Because I kept this one thing in the forefront. Be nice. What's it hurt to be nice? Hey, I'm so-and-so. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. This is not that hard. But it's a good question because a lot of people don't know what to do their first day of work. We tend to withdraw. And so when we withdraw, what do we look like? We're not approachable. But if you go ahead and knock that off the first day, then you can withdraw and they'll come to you. But you don't want to hide in your office. You don't want to hide in your cubicle. You don't want to go hide in the bathroom. People have done that. You don't want to just hang around the coffee machine or in the break room, but make yourself available to meet folks. We tend to isolate ourselves at offices, which we do. But if you're that beacon of light, man, and a lot of offices have been waiting on a beacon of light to show up. You're that beacon of light. You brought something to that office that it didn't have. And they're very thankful that you showed up. So, if it's your first day at work, you got a new job coming up, be nice. Introduce yourself, and then let it take its course. Because whatever your vibration is as a person, you will attract the people in that office to you. So if you're happy, You understand that life's wonderful? You understand you were created? You will draw those people to you. It'll be miraculous how soon you start to meet these folks. If you have a question for me, it's questions at scottferrel.com or hit us up on the text line 706-889-9700 or go by our Facebook page. My personal Facebook page is almost full. You got to go to my one for the show. But please go there, like it. Go ahead and slap a question up there. 180 Sports Performance CEO and founder Jonathan Loudermilk's coming up. What's he going to tell you? Well, he's going to tell you how to stay in shape as an older person today, what it's like to play big-time lacrosse at the college level, and how you stay in shape. And we're going to touch on some veterans programs because veterans are big to me. I say anyone that's taken the time to serve our country, we have to serve back. And we will serve you as long as we can. Okay, so if you served in the armed forces, police, fire, thank you. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. So when we get back, I'll have Jonathan Loudermilk. If you got a question for Jonathan, hit us up on the text 706-889-9700. I'll be right back. Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you got a lot out of what Jonathan Loudermilk had to say. Coach Milk, 180 Sports Performance. So many times we don't take our health seriously. We've got to. And then Jonathan's there to make sure you don't get injured. One of the things that people my age, over 50, are concerned about is, okay, do I have someone who knows what they're doing, who knows my physical limitations, who's going to make sure I'm doing the right exercises? Jonathan's team over there knows what they're doing. 180 Sports Performance, they're right outside of Atlanta. If you've ever seen Chateau Elan, it's close by there. But if you haven't, think Kim Basinger. It's in the town where she's from. If you don't know that one, get on I-85, drive north right outside of Atlanta, about 40 minutes outside the city. Up on the right, you can't miss it. Houston, Georgia, that's 180 Sports Performance. All right, I promised the mailbag, so I want to get back to it. I want to go ahead and answer your questions. Now, if you got a question for me, remember something. While I'm answering these, it's for funsies. I'm not a medical doctor or an attorney or a licensed therapist. Yes, I do have 20 plus years in the behavior realm, special ed realm, and family realm. I've written more behavior plans than I could ever imagine. So yeah, I know my stuff when it comes to behavior, and I've got best-selling books to go along with that. You can go by my website, scottferrel.com, if you have any questions. If you want to email me, it's questions@scottferrel.com, or you can hit us up on the text line 706-889-9700. Okay, got to save the name on this one, but I understand the question. This gentleman says his wife has acknowledged that when they argue, he's got some anger management issues. And he wants to know, all right, if my wife's right, how do I change this? It's going to be the same answer I use for everything else. A decision. Do you want it to change? Are you sick of an annoying behavior pattern that's causing you issues? Now, where do we get our anger from? Do we get it from DNA? We get it from the behavior patterns. Yeah, it can go from one generation to another. I've got a great video or auditory program you can listen to. Dr. Bruce Lipton. I was listening to it yesterday, as a matter of fact, on what gets passed down from generation to generation. And how do we end up replicating behaviors of our parents or grandparents? Well, remember, when you're in the womb, anything that's addressed externally can be absorbed internally. Once you're born, anything on the external can be absorbed internally. And anywhere from 0 to 5 or 0 to 7, every single thing that is around us is absorbed. We don't have the ability to deflect it. So when you see an anger management issue or whatever it is, Has it been passed on? If you watch Dr. Bruce Lipton's audio, it's about hour and 45 minutes. It's based on the biology of belief, but it's the 7 essentials of life. If you want to look that up on YouTube, you can check that out. But he goes through the science of cell development and why cell development is actually affected by environment and energy. We always talk about people's vibe. Man, he's got a vibe. Well, that's what we're talking about. You are an electromagnetic field. You will receive what's in your electromagnetic field, so you're going to hold on to it. Well, if that's true, and you saw your mom and dad get angry, or when you're in the womb there was anger, or there was anxiety, or sex, etc., then that's what you're going to display. So many times that throughout my career, I've had to deal with individuals, and one of my specialties is abnormal behavior, which normally has violence attached to it. Violent outbursts for no reason. Or violent outbursts, we go from arguing about the toothpaste to want to kill each other. Okay, that's a violent outburst. It's irrational. So how do you change? Well, you make a decision, and then you write down, this is what I suggest for couples, write down all the issues that they talk about. Now, I'm not talking about bitching and moaning and complaining. I'm talking about legitimate issues that are causing issues not only for your marriage, but for your life. Write those behaviors down. The easiest way to get rid of something is to acknowledge, fix. Acknowledge, fix. All right? This is the assessment. They've told me what's going on. Here's the desired outcome. Behavior that's being displayed, behavior that you want to see. It's that simple. So let's say I vomit every time I eat pizza. What am I going to do? Not eat pizza. I get angry when we address the following topics. So let's look at how we address them, change the way we address them. Still got to address them because it's a marriage. But you also have to realize that who's the common denominator in every single thing that's going on right now? It's you. And if there's an anger management issue, it's you. And whose fault is it? It's yours. And if you want to get over this, it's up to you. And you have to take the first step to change your behavior. Okay. That being said, I do a long course on this, and there's no way I can handle this in 3 or 4 minutes. But the first thing starts with you. You make a decision. Second thing is you have to acknowledge these behaviors. Third, you have to change these behaviors. Okay, a lot of programming. I suggest, I don't normally farm this out, but Dr. Bruce Lipton explains this so well. I encourage everybody to go watch this. Dr. Bruce Lipton actually wrote the book, Biology of Belief. But this audio, go to YouTube, watch it yesterday. It's an audio he does for another radio show that's absolutely amazing on this topic. All right, but thank you so much for your question. Leads up to the next one. I have trouble with authority. What should I do? And then the next question is, if I have so much trouble with authority, why should I bother listening to them? All right, fair question. As you can probably tell, I did too. Because as a child, none of the authority ever made sense. Okay, there's a sense of justice there. You want things, if this is supposed to mean this, then it needs to mean this. And people grow up with a conflict with authority when nothing was justified, nothing made sense. If there was a rule, was it a rule for everyone? Or if there's a rule, did it have a set consequence? Or did the consequences keep changing? And were your authority figures never, ever, ever dependable? That's what I loved about my football coaches as a kid. Behavior, consequence. Consequences aren't good or bad, they just are. Behavior, consequence, whatever it was. I could depend on my football coaches. So I always loved going to football practice. I could depend on my grandparents. I loved being around them. See where I'm going with this? Now, if you have a problem with authority, it still comes back to a decision that's made by you. Acknowledge it and understand this principle. If we were created by God, and God created us to do something special here while we're on this earth, if we have a creator, who are we submitted to? Yeah. We have to learn to submit to authority. And this is what I've learned, not just from behavior, but being a human and having great mentors. They always told me, if you can't learn to submit to authority, you cannot be successful. Because if you can't submit, why should someone submit to you? I got a book coming out. It's not them, it's you. And I tell CEOs this all the time. If you can't submit, Why should your employees submit? Same thing in marriage. Ephesians, you got 5:25, 4, 3, 2, 1. It all talks about wives submit to your husbands. What's the next verse? Dudes are always good at, it says submit. Okay, stop. Let's go up a couple verses. Husbands, submit to your wives, as Christ submitted to the church. He died for the church. I think I answered that question. So submission is understanding that there's a beneficial relationship. And with this authority, if you do not learn to submit to authority, you can't ever be successful. Let me go over this again. If you do not learn how to submit to respectful authority, let me go over this. If they're in a position of authority, you're going to have to at least respect the position. To be able to be successful in this world, you're going to have to learn it. If you don't know how, you can always email me, ScotFerrel.com. Again, I don't have time to go into in-depth how to do all this on this show. However, I do like to touch on questions, and I like to have a conversation starter. Thank you so much for that. All right, I'm going to stay with the mailbag probably next segment. If you got a question for me, questions at ScotFerrel.com. Hit us up on the text line, 706-889-9700. We'll be right back.
Right now at Pizza Hut, you can get any 2 medium pizzas for $6.99 each. Get any toppings, any crust flavor, anything you want for just $6.99 each. And sweeten the deal with a Hershey's Triple Chocolate Brownie for just $5.99. Only at Pizza Hut.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
El Rey and Elijah.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Elijah.
The summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper with huge savings up to 16% off MSRP. Save over $4,100 off Malibu Limited. Now just $19,500. Save $9,500 on loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT. Now only $38,700. Save up to 16% off MSRP on select new Chevys in stock during the summer sell down. Going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hello, America. The first ever $5 flavor menu is here, and it's a game changer. For just $5 each, you can get a medium one-topping pizza, Wing Street Wings, a Hershey's cookie, and your other Hut favorites. A Pizza Hut pizza for just $5? It's the ultimate crowd pleaser.
How are you feeling, crowd?
Very pleased, thank you.
We do what we can here.
$5 for a Pizza Hut pizza. How can we not be pleased?
Good crowd today.
The $5 flavor menu, America's best pizza deal, only at Pizza Hut.
Welcome back. Thanks so much. Man, where's the time go? I always say it. I say that every single day, don't I? He says that every single day. I don't know why he says that. Well, here's why I say it. It goes by so fast. Where does it go? We start out, we're hanging out, get a little conversation going. All of a sudden I look up, it's over. All right, so I promised I'd go back to the mailbag, which I am going to do. Thank you so much for hitting us up on Facebook. If you have not liked our page, go by, like our page, Scott Ferrel page. My personal page is full, filling up, can't take any more people. So I'm having to transition everybody over to my Facebook page for the show. All right, if you have a question for me, if you've never tuned in, you've never seen this part, I take your questions through text or email and answer. One rule, you have to have a question that addresses more than one person and a need that people have, and it's got to be entertaining. But if you can do that, drop us a line at questions@scottferrell.com or hit us up on the text line, 706-889-9700. All right, let me get to the mailbag. All right, I love this one because I'm an author. I've got a bestseller. I got a brand new book, It's Not Them, It's You, coming out very soon. We're supposed to already release, but we have a little complication, but we'll get there. I'll keep you posted. All right, first question. Should I write a book? What are the qualifications? And do I have to tell a story if I write one? Okay, fair. All right, let's look at if it's fiction or nonfiction. My friend Shelley Pickens is on book 3. Her last book, Unhinged, came out. Great series. I don't like teenage novels. I definitely don't like ones like this, and I can't put it down. She knew if she hooked me, I got the first manuscript ever. I got to read it while I was sitting on a beach about 6-7 years ago. Now she's on book 3. They're doing great. So Shelley Pickens' Unhinged would be a great example of this. She asked me, should I write a book? Should I tell the story? And what should I do with it? I said, yes. So she wrote it. She gave it to me. I read it, got her a publisher, and now look at where she is. I'm going to ask you the same question. Fiction, nonfiction. Now, fiction's harder to sell than nonfiction. But you always have to look at, can you keep someone's attention? Let's say nonfiction. What's the story about? It's a fair question. Are you solving a problem? Are you the best at solving a problem? Or are you irreplaceable? Okay, that's how I talk to people about business. Well, I kind of talk to them about writing a book too. What is the problem you're solving? Okay, look at Shelley's. Shelley's solving the problem of boredom, a lack of adventure, and the sensationalism of fantasy. Her books have all those elements. And as soon as you start on one page, you're with Shelley till you finish. That's how exciting her books are. So about 200 to 300 pages, you are glued to this book. And now she's on book 3. Now she's going to be writing book 4. And hopefully one of these is going to be a movie. So let me ask you this. What is your story? What can people learn from it? Is it going to be one of the most exciting? And could they ever stop and not put you down? Even when I'm reading biographies, I want to know that what I'm investing my time in is worth it. What's in it for me and why should I? So you as an author have to answer that question. What's in it for me and why should I? If someone's going to invest anywhere from $15 to $25 into your story, that story better be worth it. Is it? Before I write a book, before I write any book, I always go out and talk to people. I'll go to Chick-fil-A, Wendy's, Burger King, then I'll go over to Target, Walmart, then I'll go over to the mall, then I go over to a parking lot, and I'll ask people, what's your biggest problem for family? What's your biggest problem socially? What's your biggest problem professionally? All right, and then I'll interview anywhere from 300 to 500 people. I'll write it down. Then I'll go back to search engine and I'll search it all. I want to know how many people are invested in learning about this. And I will not write a book that's not connected to at least 2 or 3 million reasons to write it. I mean, searches, reasons. And then it's got to match what I heard physically. Okay, I've got a book that I wrote about what men don't get about women. It's not been released yet. I interviewed 1,000 women personally, face to face. Grocery store, shopping mall, you name it. I walk up and go, hey, you got a second? I'd like to ask you a question. I'm writing a book. Nobody ever said no. Actually, I had to shut people up because I'd ask them the question, and then I couldn't get them to stop talking. And then I couldn't get them to stop crying or hitting me. It's amazing how people act out anger and frustration on you when you're the one who facilitated the conversation. So imagine being in the middle of a department store and somebody screaming at you. Somebody you just met because you asked them a question and you ask them to display their true feelings. Yeah, they think I'm breaking up with them. I'm like, ho, I'm just the author, man. I'm just interviewing here. Just say, she's not mad at me. She's mad at so-and-so. Well, nobody ever believed that. But I got a great book out of it, which I'll be releasing later this year. Because I wanted to know, what is it that we didn't get about women? What is it that men just don't understand? Well, we men can sit back and go, oh, we understand everything. Or we can be smart enough to go, hey, what is it we don't get? If you ever want an answer to something, go ask the person you want to get the answer from. It's like in advertising. If you want to know what people want, ask people what they want. And then listen. If you want to know what your workers want, ask, and they'll tell you. So if you want to know if a story is viable, if you want to know if you should write a book about X, how many people have you asked? Is this a sellable story? I don't depend on publishing houses. I've gone the traditional publisher, I've gone self-publisher, I've gone in between, I've done it all. I don't trust traditional publishing houses anymore. They give you a 19-year-old intern every 3 different weeks, and then nobody's ever on the same page. And the marketing that gets done, understand this when you write a book. Like mine right now, Leon Smith, love these guys. Keith's been on the show. So Leon Smith is my publisher. Great guys, because I know Keith Leon personally, he's a friend of mine, and I trust him as a publisher. But if you don't have somebody like Leon Smith, remember, you're on your own. You're your greatest marketer. So if you got a book that you want to sell, what are you willing to do to sell the book? What are you willing to do to sell the story? You need interviews, you got to come on shows like this, you got to do radio. You got to get out and let people know this is available. What's your means of letting people know this is available? Now it's great because you can call someone like Leon Smith, you can look him up, Keith Leon Smith, Publishing. Or Keith actually has a program where you speak your book. So you don't even write it. It's so cool now, they got software you don't have to write your own book anymore. You just set up a series of interviews with Keith's company, and then you speak it. So they interview you, they tape it, and they finish it. How easy is that? But it still comes back to the original question. Should I write a book, and do I need a story to tell? Yes. Because without the story, you're not going to sell any books. Think of a movie. What happens when the story of a movie is not complete? I'm a Batman Superman fan. I didn't like the movie. I did not like the movie. Suicide Squad. I liked the story, didn't like the movie. I still felt like they left something out. Okay, that's an opinion that's not only shared by me. Go on and read the reviews. Think about your life. Think about the book you're telling. Think about the story you've got. What are the reviews? Ask your 5 friends. If that's not enough, ask 5 more. If that's not enough, ask 5 more. Or I go out and watch, I ask 300 to 500 people I don't know. People that don't know you will give you an honest assessment. And I'll go, hey, just give me an honest opinion. I'm moving on, but thank you. And then I take all of that, I don't poo-poo it. I say, it's legit because this is how they really feel. And if it's legit and how they really feel, I got to roll with this, man. That goes into writing a book. So it's not just, I got up one day and I got the story on my heart and I just feel so good about it. I just want to throw it out to the public because everybody wants it. Nah, that ain't how it works. You got to have marketing. That's why I call someone like Leon Smith because they do the job for me. They help me get the book done. They help me get the marketing done. They help me get everything done. Keith Leon, if you're on Facebook, you can look up Keith Leon, Leon. Great publisher, my friend and publisher, and someone I trust to get the job done. So I hope that answered your question about books. And if you've heard everything I just said and you're still interested, go for it. Go for it. All right, let me hit one more question before we wrap up today. I like this question. Scott, what's the best thing I can feed my kids? Pizza, French fries, and hamburgers. Nah, that's what I wanted when I was a kid. And Krispy Kreme donuts with vanilla milkshakes. Nah, I'm just kidding. What's the best thing you can feed your kids? What's best for them? Doesn't mean it's not what they want. I mean, what I'm saying is, what would a nutrition person who's the best in the world say to you to feed your kids? I don't have a degree in nutrition. I'm just talking off the cuff here. What's the best thing to feed your kids? What's best for their body? Now, my friend Frank Tortorici comes by, franktortorici.com. You can look him up on his Facebook account or go by his website, franktortorici.com. Also, Doug Kaufman, knowthecause.com. Great places if you have nutrition questions. I'm not an expert in nutrition. I'm an expert in me, but not in nutrition. If your body reacts negatively to it, don't eat it. It's that simple. I like Jack LaLanne. He really made it simple, and the guy died at 95. I think he knew what he was talking about. If man made it, don't eat it. If man made it, don't eat it. I used to think there were two food groups, orange and yellow. Okay? If it left my fingers orange or yellow in my mouth, that was going in first. And it normally came in a bag, and it had some crunch to it. You feel me? Ball game. A mandatory food at a ball game party is orange and yellow. You pass it around to all the guys, and your face is smeared with it. That's probably not the best thing to feed your kids. You can ask somebody like Jonathan Loudermilk, 180 Sports Performance. What you want to do is, you want to keep this body. I know it's a meat suit, but you want this meat suit to look as good as it can, and you want to feel as good as you can feel. And you want this life to last a little longer than just here. Well, to do that, food's energy. Don't ever think that energy and matter, okay? Study physics, energy and matter. This is energy. So whatever is placed into this body has to have fuel attached to it. If it's not fuel, don't eat it. It's that simple. There's a reason why Jack LaLanne said, if man made it, don't eat it. And the way I grew up out in the middle of the country, if we didn't raise it, we didn't eat it. It was that simple. I had a great diet as a child because I lived out in the middle of nowhere. My dad raised everything, so that's how we ate. I didn't know what it was like to buy everything in the store. We raised our stuff. So take that into consideration, but the greatest thing you can do for your kids is be the role model. If you want them to eat it, you eat it first. Remember, it's energy. So if it's fuel, and it's got to fuel the car, and it's got to keep the car going, make sure it has value. All right, as we wrap up today, I want to thank Jonathan Loudermilk, 180 Sports Performance, for stopping by. I got a feeling I got another great guy tomorrow, Chris Kuchera, probably one of the best bodybuilders in history, stopping by, also a CEO and speaker. All right, I'm going to conclude today the way I always do. If you got somebody out there that you love and you know they love you, what you waiting on? Go ahead and let them know. I love you, here's why, and I'm going to always love you, and I'm always going to be there. I'm going to be there for you too, but not today, man. I'll see you tomorrow.